What's up, Mr. Motleys? Haha, if I was 20 years younger. Hell, if I was 5 years younger, I'd feel better. Doing some work.
How's it going? Let's see who is in here. It's two people, but I can only see one. I guess. I don't know. Huh. Well, Mr. Mouse, I see ya. Just out here working, grinding on some knives, doing the process. Got some these all the way taken up to 220 on the Trizac belts. Got some layout fluid on these drying. Gonna grind some bevels here in a little bit. Taking these up to a 220 grinder finish. Actually a 400, and then put some layout fluid on these and start putting some bevels on those as well. Working on some zip models, and I got this some Motleys, the three I was telling you about earlier. So yeah, these are my initials on these. And also working on this little mini buoy. Let's see, I'll fit it up real quick. So we got some fine tuning to do to the handle on this one. This is fish hook Damascus, and little brass guard on it. Fits pretty good. It's a little small guy, so I'm working on that one too. Yep, that is what we are doing tonight. Got to get all these finished. Got to mark it on Thursday. So that's a good amount of knives to get done. Got two already finished, 2 zips. So just got to put handles on them. Working on some scales. Your Shopify store disappeared today. It did disappear today. They had some outage on like globally. I guess maybe because it was Cyber Monday. It was gone for a while. So I think it's back up and running though now. So Pretty sure it is, but yeah, it went away. We couldn't get into it. We wanted to upload the new one that we put on there today, the one that you saw that we posted about today. So it should be back up. But yeah, we're just sitting here grinding. So next I'm gonna put these on the big wheel, kind of run them and get those dialed in, and gonna put some layout fluid on them. Heck yeah, I love that. I'll have them finished up. I got some scales I'm working on right now. I'm gonna do these red with this rosewood. Got some segmented scales going on. Probably gonna put this on one of them, some rosewood, and the same one that you saw, the same kind of wood. And it's got some G10 camo colored scales in here. So that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, we'll do a drop probably around Wednesday or Thursday for the Motleys. So this is going to look really cool, I think. I think it'll turn out nice when I get that, because it'll be like camo. It'll be the black and green camo G10 mixed in with the red and everything. I think it's going to be a pretty cool handle. So that'll go on one of the Motleys. So stay tuned for that. All right, well, let me get back to it. Put my mask on and get back to grinding. And we'll chill out, do some layout fluid. Get a little toasty in here. Heater's running. What's up there? Cliff Brott, is that you? All right, cool. What's up, man? Cliff. You're doing some grinding, man. Getting some work done. Hang out if you want. Ask some questions. That's what we're doing. I'm taking these to an A45, I'm pretty sure. No, A65 is what I'm going to. Wait a minute, no, I'm going to 45. So we're going to a 420 belt. 400, excuse me. And do some wheel grinding on these, kind of get all the little scratches out. Little quick hit, they'll all come out in a handful. Yeah, it comes off there. Looks nice. Yeah. Get the hand tanning, put the layout fluid on there. Whew. Hey, we got 5 people in here. What's up, Mike? Cliff? How y'all doing? Let's see here. Come back up. And there you go. Gotta love that. Yeah, ain't got much. All right. Well, guys, I'm just in here working, just hanging out. Just figured I'd go live and kind of show what I'm doing and show some of the process. We got some of these zip models going on. And a couple of Motleys and one fin model, working on that. So I just took them off the 400 grit belt, gave them a quick little hit to get some of those lines out. I got a hand sand and do all that stuff after, so that really blends it a lot more. And gets out any more scratches that weren't taken out by that last pass. And I wasn't putting too much pressure on it, you know, just getting a little bit of pressure on there takes out the 220 scratches, you know, with the 400. So I don't usually go on the wheel with my 200. I usually go with that on the 400 grit. Don't want to get any dips in them, but put some of this layout fluid on these guys. Got some clamps, about 5 of them. And then we're gonna grind these Motleys. Probably have these ground in tonight so that we can start putting handles on them and wrapping those up. Y'all don't know, this stuff is god-awful smell. Choke you out sometimes, but it really does the trick on getting your lines nice and straight. Heck yeah, I can't wait for you to order one of these Motleys too. We've been kind of busy this year. It's kind of been a slow year. Our first year, we've only been going for about, I'd say it's going to be 2 years in March. And that first year, man, we kind of did really good. I was surprised. Kind of get into it and have the amount of success we had in the first year. But this year it's been kind of slow, I guess, with the economy the way it is. I don't know. But a lot of people aren't spending extra money, I guess. But we've been all right. Everything we've made this year is sold except for what we got on the website, so that's good. It's just been kind of a slower year. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's been getting better. This YouTube stuff's been pretty good, man. I really appreciate all the support on YouTube. A lot of people are, you know, tuning in and getting a lot of good feedback. So the YouTube has been a game changer. We were just kind of doing it. We didn't even know about the live. I didn't know about live on YouTube. And my sister told me about it. And then, like I think JB said on Big Red EDC's live that I gave him that knife because it was my first live experience was his YouTube Saturday Night Knife Live. And I was like, wow, this is wild, man. So, don't really know what I'm doing quite yet on the live stuff, but hey, it's just shop hangout time. Answer any questions if anyone has them for stuff. Can't order anything till my disability payment starts. Hey man, no rush. We'll be here. We ain't going anywhere. And our Shopify account does have that payment arrangement thing where people can pay with the shop thing. I don't really know how it works, but I know that someone just purchased a knife recently and they did it in like a 4 installment thing. So, you know, if that ever works for you. But hey, like I said, we ain't going nowhere and no rush. Take your time, and support and likes are always really appreciated. You know, you don't have to purchase the support. So we appreciate everything we get. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to get my calipers out. is my Motley model. It's the one I carry every day. My sister just made me a new sheath for it. And I give this thing hell. I really do. I mean, I just was throwing it at trees the other day. It's got some nice little patina to it. Some hackberry, dyed, stabilized hackberry handle on it. But I love my Motley, man. This is the first one I made right here. And it's a good little knife, man. I usually carry it in a scout carry sheath. And that goes right there on my waist. It's kind of good, concealable, all that stuff. So, yeah, this is my first one ever made. It's actually a mild steel and high carbon steel 1095. But you can't really see the pattern anymore because it kind of blended together. They're both dark steels. Probably should clean it up, but just kind of treat it like hell and give it the ringer, you know, see how they last, and like to do that every now and then, just kind of beat one up. It's one of my folders I made. I think, Mike, you saw this one in a live I did. It's my first folder knife, so we're gonna try to do some of these more this year, or next year, I'd say. Probably out of stainless though, because I just think a folder should be a stainless steel knife. But yeah, so I use this one for reference usually whenever I'm doing this. I went with a high grind on these. I don't know if I'm going to do it on these ones. I'll probably go a little lower. I do like the high grind because it gives you a lot thinner edge on it. But lately with these, kind of giving them more robust, keeping that thick spine and all that meat in there, and just taking up my grind lines a little higher on these. That's probably what I'm going to do on all these. Take it up. I usually go by eye. Everything's a little different. Nothing's always the same. But it's all handmade, so that's why we do it. These are some old busted calipers that I use. The nice ones I keep in the drawer. Yeah, I like that. This would turn out nice. So yeah, there's one. Knock these out tonight. Ready for hand sanding tomorrow. So every knife I make, I hand sand all the way up to 800. So I go through the process of 220, usually where I can start out with off the belt. So we take it to 220, 320, 400 grit, and then 600, 800. So everything has a hand rubbed finish. And all these coming out are going to be mono steel. They're W2 tool steel, high carbon. So they will patina and get some character, kind of like this one, over time. I personally like high carbon steel. Stainless is kind of, it's alright to me, but it's not my favorite. It's kind of weird to work with too. It's a lot of extra work. But I do stainless if anyone ever wants one. I do some models. I got a couple zips right now that are stainless that I'll be putting up on the shop probably this week. Let's see what y'all saying up in here. Thanks, Cliff. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's a cool one. I enjoyed making that one. Love the zip. I'd love to see a zip with a nice hamon. Man, I would love to too. Hamons are really hard. I swear, they're like harder than making Damascus. I have failures. I have success with it sometimes. I went with hamon. I did a clay on all these Motleys. So I did nice clay on all the Motleys. I don't know. I've done a couple of test etch on all 4 of them that I made. One of them's already spoken for, but I did test etches to see if the hormones came out, and man, I did not really see anything. So I'm kind of wondering why I didn't get anything, because I had pre-grinded, put all my pre-bevels in before I heat treat, and I really should have had some pretty nice hormones, but I didn't get any, I don't think. So it's hit or miss with the yeah, man, that thing was sick. That was a cool one. I pumped that one out. We had talked about giving it away, and it was pretty cool. Working on this little integral oyster knife for a buddy of mine. Hard to see, but this is a cable steel. So this one's gonna be pretty cool when I finish it up. But we'll see. But yeah, so like I said, I'm just hanging out in the shop. Figured I'd turn on the live and share my process with you guys. If anyone wanted to tune in and check it out. So with that being said, I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna put on a probably 36 grit to get these bevels in close to where I want them, and then I'll step up belts from there, probably 60 to 120 to 220 and 400. So yeah, I'm gonna get to grinding. Stick around, check them out. All right, here we go. Yeah, man, it's nice to give back, and it was nice to get all the following that we got from it too. It was really appreciated. We went from having like 108 followers, maybe less, before that giveaway, and now we're almost to 200. So it's pretty cool, and I think I'm gonna do a giveaway with man, what's his Instagram name? Or his YouTube name is something roll. I forget. I talked to him today about it, but yeah, so we'll be probably doing another giveaway. I think I'm doing like a high layer Damascus Motley for him, and let him give that away. So we'll be doing one probably maybe after Christmas. It'll probably happen, but yep. All right, well, let me get to grinding. I think I got a pretty good 36 grit belt in here. Small shot. We're getting it done. Alright, when I do this, I like to put this is my cheap file guide. It just kind of helps me keep my choil area nice and right. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to put a scribe line on all 4 of these. And that's pretty good right there. Oh, he won't let you touch it, man. Come on, Dad's got rights, That's cool. He won it, and y'all got to open it for around Thanksgiving time. See it. It was a fun one. Can't wait to get back on some of this mosaic Damascus I'm working on. It's going to be some cool stuff when I get there. Probably going to do a Motley model out of that mosaic. And then some paring knives, I'm thinking. Alright, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Oh man, I forgot about that. Strip my bolt out. It'll be alright. Alright, let's get to grinding. You know, I like to make the twist Damascus. Yeah, it's just fun. I'm thinking about doing maybe a Turkish twist next. We got some stuff going on now. Show you real quick. Got some oh, that one ain't gonna show it. Working on this right now. Kind of hard to see it. I don't know if it'll pick up in there. Yeah, it doesn't really pick up, but this is a cool, there it is a little bit. It's going to be quite the mosaic piece, or not even a mosaic, it's going to be kind of a wild Damascus pattern. Got a lot of steel like that. So, as for twists, yeah, I'm going to do some more twists, definitely. And I'm always up for doing twists, too, if anyone ever wants it. You know, I'll do, like, custom orders and stuff, and I'll make twist stuff for that. But as of right now, I got a little piece of twisted left from that build, so I'll probably make something like a smaller knife out of, maybe a hidden tang. Don't really know quite yet what I'm going to make out of it. But, yeah, definitely going to make some more twists, though. Hey, you can drool, and I understand it. It's just a lot of process. That's why I like to go, you know, show people the process. You know, I already got. Hear that? Thank you, Mouse, Mr. Mouse. Yeah, you know, it's prices are what they are, but a lot of time and effort goes into them, and then the sheaths and everything, and just material alone. And steel's gone up like 35%. So steel is ridiculously expensive right now. I think with all the tariffs, depending on where it comes from, even USA made steel is expensive. But we're gonna get to grinding. Stick around. See the process. I can actually move the camera a little closer. Let's see. There we go. Get that in there. All right. Let's start grinding this. I'm gonna take it all the way to where I want it, all the way up to 200. So let's get working.
I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. We'll see. Cool to see some Sam some leather sheaths as well. I hear you. I would like to do some Sam I do a lot usually. I've done a lot in the past, Sam but we'll get to it. Like I said, I gotta order some more steel. I'm about out of stuff to do Damascus with, so gotta get to it. Probably order some this week. So off the 36 grit, see I kind of got it close to my lines and they're a little wonky, so I'm gonna straighten those out and get them as best I can with the 60 grit and the 120. Alright. Now see how that cleaned that up a little bit. Go into that 60. Not quite to my line, but yeah, usually I go close as I can to 60 and then I'll step it up and get all the little imperfections out toward the end. Kathy's in the chat. How's it going? Kathy, it's my sister. So you can see that right there. Off the 120. Got pretty close to my line. So straighten out those bevels. Pretty good. Now I'll go up to 220. And then I'll take the file guide off and kind of dial in these lines up here. I can't really get in there because of the screws holding me into the belt. But kind of like to do those at the last part anyway. All right, so let's step her up. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's kind of cool to see the process. You know, we started right here, right, with 36 grit belt before heat treat. Then heat treated. And now,
Take this mask off. And now we got pretty good lines, you know. They're not perfectly straight yet. And a lot of that I can get out in the hand sanding. A little wiggles and stuff to get them nice and crispy. And then obviously I got to put my file guide on here again to get that clip point. So that's where we're at. And you held the zip model, Mr. Mouse. You held that one, and the handle is almost like the zip. Actually, I got a template of the zip right here. I'll show you. So it's kind of about the same handle, but with a beefier knife. It's just a little bit bigger. You know, you can see that a little bit bigger than the zip model. So it gives you a little bit more grip, just a little bit. So it's not too much, but it makes that bigger blade feel a lot better in the hand. So, and it's a way thicker steel, so it's got a heavier in the hand than the zip. All right, let's grind some 220. There you go. Says the hand like a glove. That's what I like to hear. Hey.
off the 400 grit right there, so you kind of see kind of finish it leaves. And I'm gonna take the file guide off, and then I might go back on there later, kind of dial it in just a little bit better. But that is the process.
Ooh, of getting the pretty much final grinds in off the belt, and then everything goes to the hand sanding after this. We usually etch our maker's mark in there after the hand sanding. But pretty much on our lines, like I said, I get these front ones I got to get in after the, you know, because the file guide kind of gets in the way. So I'll taper those back a hair. And then sometimes I won't always go to what I got there, you know, kind of what looks best, what nice feeling like. And that dropped a lot of weight, so now it's a lot lighter than it was. Even though it wasn't much to begin with, it just feels a lot lighter than, you know, these. You can feel it already. But, yeah, so that's that process on one of the Motleys. I'm going to go down here and look and see what y'all been saying. I know my sister's in here talking. Mr. Mouse, autocorrect. Man, the blade shape is so nice. Thank you, Mr. Mouse. Guys talking about kids. All right, TW Knives. Well, guys, 6 of y'all are in here. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the process of getting it in. With my question is, how do you feel about choils? Because I've been wondering, and I've been thinking lately. I do like the choils. I do like sharpening choils, having those in there. Sometimes I don't do them, sometimes I do them. But what do y'all think about choils? Sharpening choils in the blade. Do you like them or do you not like them? Choils rock. See, I agree. I think they do help a lot. You know, I do not have one. Oh, I do have one on this. Okay, yeah, I do have one. I like them. I've been putting them in kind of at the end with my Dremel tool. And I do think it makes it a lot easier to sharpen. And sometimes when you sharpen them, you get that little swoop right there by that plunge grind. I can go either way. I agree. It's sometimes just kind of how you feel about it, right? You know? Look at Cliff's question. Let's see. Cliff's question. TW, hello. Cliff. Where? I'm looking for it, but I don't see it. Do you ever make Viking hammers for necklaces with your scrap Damascus? I have never made one. Would not be opposed to it. If that's something you're interested in, you ever want something like that, reach out, send me an email. You know, we'll kind of talk about it. I've never made one. I've seen them. Sometimes it's kind of, you know, a curse and a blessing. I do my style. I do what I like a lot of the times, which isn't always the right thing. And it's not always what everyone else likes. But I think that does make what, you know, an artist, what they do is, you know, their vision of what they want. But I would be down to make one. You know, it'd be a fun little thing to do. So yeah, anything can be sharpened. So as long as it cuts as it intends, I'm good. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it always cuts, you know. It's just sometimes you'll get that little swoop, you know, where you know, just the steel going away from that hard line. And I think I could probably correct that in some cases, but I don't know. Choils, either way. Viking hammers, sure. I'd love to make a little Viking hammer necklace. I got plenty of drops, Damascus. It would be a cool little thing to build. So yeah, reach out, Cliff. Love to do one. Man, it's already been an hour. Time flies, I tell you. So that's, you know, just an hour. And look what I got done. Not even close, but it's getting there. That's what we got done in an hour, talking and doing stuff. But man, I'd like to make a little Viking thing. I don't personally wear them. I'm not really a necklace guy. Sometimes I do, you know, but I don't really wear too much jewelry unless I'm going out and doing something. But I would love to make something if, you know, always up for it. That answers the question. It's all good. Yeah, reach out when you can. No worries. We'll figure something out. Getting in on that Monster. God, I already drank that too. Lord have mercy. We need a sponsor by them. No, I drink so many of them. Probably not the best, healthiest thing to do. All right, let's see. What do we want to do? Keep going? I think I'll just keep going. Maybe we'll do the clip on this one. Actually, I'm gonna wait. I'll get them all about the same, and we'll figure that out. So yeah, let's just keep grinding away, one at a time. One at a time. What are you guys up to? Where y'all at? Why don't y'all share where you live at? I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. That's where we're at, and yeah, where y'all living at? Alaska. Dang, Cliff. I actually sent one of my oyster knives to Alaska. We sent one to Alaska and one to Hawaii. So we're out of the lower 48 on oyster knives, which is pretty cool. What's the weather like in Alaska? Cold there, huh? About this time of year, I'd imagine. I'm back. I had to take care of my mother and pups. Hey, I hear that. I just had my mother come out here in the shop. I stay with them and help them out as well. I get it. You know, never thought it'd be 40 in the garage at my parents' house, but hey, here we are. They appreciate it, and you know, got us to making knives. Sometimes you got to take care of the pups. Oh, you want to see the one that I'm working on, or I just was working on? This is where we got it to. We're at a 400 off the belt. So you kind of see, gets a pretty good finish. I still got to touch up the front and finish the clip, but that's off the belt, 400 grit. And then after this, we'll put the maker's mark in it, and hey, I hear it, man. Good on you. We got to do it. Someone's got to look out for them, right? I have no kids and no wife, so it makes sense for me to be here to help them out and do what I can do. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Is it Mike or Mick? Mick Ranger or Mike Ranger? I wonder. Let me know. Yeah, it's cold. I bet it is. I think cold here is, and it's only like 45 outside. That's cold to me. All right, let's see. Get the 36 grit belt. I hate 36 grit belts. My least favorite belt. You know, Cliff, I get it. Times are hard. I tell you, these belts, everything, to make a knife costs so much. You know, every one of these belts I use is probably in the range from $7 to $15. These belts right here, I think, are even like $18 a piece, but they last a while. steel, handle material, everything's gone up. It's hard to buy anything extra, especially this time of year. So Cliff, no worries on all that stuff we were talking about earlier. I get it. All right, Motley number 2. Oh, God. Let's see what's going on in here, y'all. This is so hard to do on a phone. Either way, my name is Mick. All right. Okay, it's actually got a hole. It's Mike. Okay, cool. Got it. That's what I was reading it as anyway. I'm pretty dyslexic and ADD. I think the dyslexic is what I'm talking about. I broke my back in 2 places November 2020. Wow. Cliff, that sounds pretty intense, man. Sorry to hear that. Hardcore, no gloves. Yeah, the gloves. I have to have my fingers on this at this stage of knife making. I don't usually wear gloves anyway, just because I don't like getting them caught up, except for when I'm forging. But at this stage, when you see me sanding, I got my thumb usually on the back side of the blade here, and when I'm running it in that belt, it'll get hot, and I'll pull my finger off. You'll see me dunking in the water, And that's just keeping it cool, you know. I burn my fingers a lot, but you get to feel the blade before it overheats. Because, you know, you don't want to get too hot and lose the temper that's got on it. So I will keep my finger on there as much as possible in the roundabout area of where I'm grinding. And right now, I've got it down to pretty much knowing, about time-wise, how long it takes for it to get too hot. You know, every now and then I will burn a blade, and it's pretty much ruined after that for the edge. But happens every now and then. But we got it down pretty good. So yeah, burn the fingers a lot. Let's see. We lived on bread, milk, cheese, and eggs for an entire year before they paid. Sam, Mike, you had a thing too. 14 months paralyzed. Wow. Taught yourself to walk again. That's huge, man. I had a buddy that went through that. It was pretty wild. Hey there, Finley. Yeah, never give up, never surrender, man. You got to. Never had that much hard times, but you know, I've had my own share of hard times in certain situations. But man, can't imagine having kids in that situation. But good on you guys, man, for keeping it going. It's always nice to you know, hear the good side of coming out of hard times, you know. A lot of the reason why I'm out here making knives, man. I went through some hard times to get here, and you know, now it's a lot better, a little happier. Old man's walking out, so there he is. We're live, just so you know. All right, well, I'm gonna get back to grinding. Let's see. 60. Actually, take this one straight to 120. I'll skip at 60.
house is in the Motleys. Huh? Inside.
Was it midnight?
Huh?